P4 again. P4, we're going to do complex fractions. This is where it's going to get more difficult. You might want to pay attention. Okay. And once we get done with P4, we're going to have a little mini test over P4.
When?
It'll probably happen Friday.
Yeah, it will.
Complex fractions. Okay, so we're going to take a look at complex fractions today. Complex fractions are when you have fractions on top of other fractions. Fractional expressions with separate fractions in the numerator, denominator, or both. Numerator, denominator, or both. So we're going to take a look at how to solve this type of complex fraction. Let's say you have 2 over x minus 3 over 1 minus, by tape, 1 over x minus 1. And they want us to solve this, okay? So the problem is this. I have a fraction up top, I have a fraction in the bottom, and it combines to make a larger fraction. So what I need to do is get common denominators for the top first, solve that out, get common denominators for the bottom, solve that out, and then I can solve the overall problem. Yes, it's going to take a lot of work. So, so up top, what is my common denominator? My common denominator. What's my common denominator up here? Not 1. X. X is my common denominator. So this fraction has an x. So that means this is missing a x. So you have to multiply -3 by x over x. So then up top you end up getting 2 over x minus 3x over x. On bottom, what is the common denominator?
1.
Not 1. 1 is a whole number. What's the denominator? X minus 1. So if I have x minus 1 here, I have to multiply this by x minus 1 over x minus 1. So that you get x minus 1. So you get x minus 1 over x minus 1 minus 1 over x minus 1. Now you can combine like terms up top. I have 2 minus 3x. There's nothing I can really do to that, so I just have 2 minus 3x over x. My larger fraction has x minus 1 minus 1. So that means I'm going to get x minus 2. Okay? I'm going to get x minus 2 on top over x minus 1, my common denominator. Now, when you are dividing fractions, you have a fraction, you divide it by another fraction, what do you do? Yes, keep it, change it, flip it. Flip and multiply. So right now I have this fraction divided by this fraction. So I'm going to rewrite it to say 2 minus 3x over x times x minus 1 over x minus 2. So I am combining all of my steps that I've learned earlier last week and this week. Now you can simplify, if there's anything to simplify, okay? I can simplify from here. Can I simplify anything? That is a good question. I'm trying to see. This is one whole unit. There's no x. Nope, there's nothing to simplify. So what you end up getting answer-wise is parentheses 2 minus 3x times x minus 1 over x minus 2. You do not stop there. Because you have an x in the denominator spot, x cannot equal what?
Y.
It cannot equal, no, not 1, you have to set each of these pieces individually equal to 0 and solve. So x cannot equal 0 and x cannot equal 2. So my solution is that combined with this.
The book says x cannot equal 1.
Oh, see, told you.
X cannot equal. Oh, did we cancel? We didn't cancel out anything. Oh, because they took the factor and factored it out from it. That's why. But if you just take each piece and set it equal to, that'll work. Then from there, that's just one complex fraction. So let's look at another complex fraction. How about this one? Let's try this one. How about 1 over x plus 2 plus 1 over x minus 3 minus 1. How do I start to solve that? Common denominator up top. What's the common denominator up top? X plus 2. So I'm going to multiply this by x plus 2 over x plus 2, and you get 1 over x plus 2 plus x plus 2 over x plus 2. What's the common denominator on the bottom? 3. So I'm going to multiply this by 3 over 3. So you get x over 3 minus 3 thirds, right? Okay, we're going to leave it that way so that we can see that it's a common denominator and combine it. Up top I have 1 plus x plus 2, so what do you, can I do anything there? Can I combine any like terms? X plus 3, so up top you end up getting x plus 3 over x plus 2, and on bottom what do you end up getting? X minus 3 over 3. Now, what do you have to do? Keep it, change it, flip it. So then I say x plus 3 over x plus 2 times 3 over x minus 3. Nothing can cancel out, right? So you end up getting x plus 3 times 3, which would be, we'll do that in a second, and x plus 2 times x minus 3. So this would end up being 3x
There's still more?
plus 9, yes, over x plus 2, x minus 3. What can x not equal? 3 and negative 2. Okay. Rational expressions, complex fractions. Okay. Yeah, that is it for today. It's gonna take you a while to do this.